So, hi everyone, we're Guide Dog and we're a navigation system for the blind and visually impaired. So, our mission is to develop, provide, and empower. We want to develop digital headcare which maps the environment and tells the blind person or the visually impaired person what's in front of them and how far away it is. We want to provide this device at a reasonably drastically lower cost than the computers like SmartCanes, and we want to empower our customers to live their life as we live it. So, the problem.
The problem we have today is that, as per the World Health Organization, there are 39 million people who are legally blind and 285 million who are severely visually impaired. That's someone who has gone through surgery and has not benefited from surgery, or someone who has reached a stage of blindness and cannot benefit from surgery. This is someone who would benefit from someone such as a cane or another form of a pet animal or something. Problem is, people like them need someone or something to rely on, and they cannot do simple things like how you and I can do. We can get a glass of water, we can get off a chair and just go about, send a call, a phone, anything. They're not able to do it, and we feel that we have the solution.
So, Guide Dog can do this. What it does, it maps the environment. It uses ultrasonic sensors to map the environment, and it runs image recognition to tell the person what is in front of them and how far away it is. We can also include technology to include a reading mode where a person who is sitting down and wants to read something where literal translation of braille is not available. With the click of a button, they can click on turn on the reading mode where the device will literally read out what's written in front of them. We can scan the terrain to prevent them from tripping or warn them if there are stairs or like any other rocks in front of them. We also plan to provide a navigation system where basically it will provide them directions, like if they want to go to Northeast apartment, they say, Guide Dog, give me directions to Northeast apartment, it'll tell you turn left, turn right. Exactly how Google Maps does it.
So we plan to launch two products, Guide Dog View and Guide Dog Pro. We'll talk more about this because it seems to be running out of time. So this is how we distinguish ourselves from the competition, the SmartCanes, the navigation apps. The benefit you get from Guide Dog, we offer real-time navigation. A product will tell you where you are, what's in front of you, terrain scanning, identifying the object. If I was wearing Guide Dog right now, it will tell me, man, 6 feet, 4 feet in front of you, turn right. It has voice over text. It will read objects. It will read text both digitally and on a platform. It's voice control. You can use it to call and text features. And it recognizes faces, landmarks, and it's significantly cheaper than completely whatever we have as a competition in the market. So we plan to do pre-launch in our B2B in our website that we've developed in coming of March, and we plan to do B2C by establishing with hospitals, recreation centers, and we plan to do a trial run coming May as well. Short-term.
We actually going to discuss our business model in this. So
that's why I think we did a good thing giving you the handouts because it covers most of what we have to go through. Because this is how we plan to go through in the short term, in the thing. This is how we're going to break even in the short run itself. We were going to break even within here with just a sale between 100 to 50 of GDU products itself, and these were our long-term goals.
Okay, guys.
You
have 2 minutes now to go.
Yep. Okay, so thank you for that. Now we'd like to show you what we did on our website. So this is a website that Cynthia built yesterday without using any building platform. We built it from scratch. This is Guide Dog. So this is where the pre-order of our products will be sold in the coming of March. As of now, we're in prototype stages, but we plan to reach beta stages by early March. And it will host the two products that we have, GD View and GD Pro. We have a couple of links available for you to demo how Guide Dog works. Let's go to the links. So these are the links that we set on YouTube. So this is how Guide Dog works. So he's holding Guide Dog on him right now. Did you hear that? That is the Guide Dog telling a person what is in front of him, how not to do. This is Guide Dog reading with it.
Trump and others, including bank records, emails, and purporting Russian intelligence. Trump material from the Russian, who is suspected of having working ties to Russia. Several American intelligence officials said they made clear that they did not want the
This is Shardul, who was blindfolded trying to use Guide Dog. try to enter an RH room, not a good decision. So this is a simple example of the prototype that we built yesterday. Our team worked really hard and we built this overnight. And this is an example of what Guide Dog does. It tells you the object, identifies the object, distance from said object, and we have much more. We had 80% plus in text recognition and almost a near perfect in object recognition in identifying a person and object. If I were to enter this room with a cane, I would not know what's in this room. But if I were to enter just with said Guide Dog, it will tell me, it will read, if the door were closed, it will say BCE, and then I'd open the door, and then it said chair 2 meters away. That's why I put that chair there. You push the chair, you come over there and you'll have a seat. Guide Dog is something that allows people to live and experience the way you and I can. And that is what we want to bring. We have a demographic. It may not be a niche. It's not necessarily a niche, but it's a huge demographic, and we really want to help them and improve their lives. Thank you.
What technologies did you use to put together the prototype?
Okay, so in terms of technology, the first thing we utilized is an Arduino, which is a sort of microcontroller or board. And what we did with that is we attached a ultrasonic sensor which detects the distance from an object, and then via Bluetooth we sent the data to an Android application, which then which does the image recognition through the camera, and then it links them together. So essentially, what happens is we detect the closest object, and then we put that with the distance that it is given through the Arduino, and then we convert that to speech, which essentially vocalizes which object is in front of you, and it basically does it with 90% accuracy. And yeah.
So currently, we did talk to a couple of wholesalers who are retailing wholesaling Arduino right now. They happen to be DigiKey and Adfruit, who are the main wholesalers. Right now, GDView and GDPro. Yeah, so right now our retail cost for the basic GDView is $350 to $400, and for the GDPro, which has additional features, it goes up to $500 to $550. We believe that with wholesale and long-term manufacturing, our long-term average cost will come down significantly, and we will be able to get our GDView to between $250 and $299. Our competition, smart canes go up to $2,000, and they do nothing but except tell you they vibrate when a product is 2 inches in front of you, and the apps that are there in the market for navigation only make use of Google technology. They will not help you navigate day to day.
Who pays for the canes?
So most of the canes are funded by individuals themselves.
Not insurance companies?
Not insurance companies. Insurance companies just do the bare minimum, try to see what they can do in terms of surgery and anything that is acceptable by their means and whatever their insurance is covered. But canes is covered purely by the individuals, and that is why there's a huge market price cap on that.
So maybe you could talk a little bit about how biometrics might be able to fit into what you're doing?
What do you mean by that?
Iris recognition, face recognition,
Absolutely.
and the like.
So
in terms of face recognition and things like that, machine learning, essentially what this can do is it could help blind people identify who's near them. In the future, we could implement a feature that could essentially keep a database of different people that the user knows, and then with the device it would recognize who they are and it could identify them by their name or whatever given label.
Yeah. So, I mean, the one thing I'd caution you on is that there's probably a lot of technology in this area. So you want to make sure that you're doing something that's not going to infringe on what somebody else has already accomplished.
So we did reach out to a couple of hospitals in Bangalore, India,
Yeah.
Netradama and Netralaya. One is a non-profit and the other happens to be a single super specialty high hospital. They said they do not have anyone in this technology space, and as per our research, we did not find it. The one thing they said that is that you have a lot of liabilities and you have to conclude your testing. That is why we said we're still in prototype and we have until May to get to our beta stage.
Right.
In between this time, we plan to utilize this time to get those licensings done and to have that testing. We spoke to them and they allowed us to use their facilities when we return to India in May to carry out testing. So we have that in mind.
No, but I think my point is that you want to make sure you're not infringing on somebody
Yes,
else's.
we completely understand.
And I don't think the hospital is going to be is your best source of information for that. You're going to have to look at what patents are out there and things like that.
We didn't do a conclusive research on
I'm
patents.
sure you didn't.
We did a conclusive research on competition and we did
Yeah.
find any. We
Yeah.
might go through patents once we move into testing.
I did like a small Google search for navigation system for blind people. Nothing came up but a few smart canes and a few navigation apps. That's what we put in the competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder about the market size that you put up here, just because I know that there are a number of folks that are becoming visually impaired just through the fact that they're aging. My father is one of them.
50
so
plus.
He just had some surgery on his eyes, and he still wants to drive, but he has trouble reading signs at night. So this would be a product that I can see would work really well for him, but it seems like in the market size that you provided for us, if you're just focusing specifically on people who are blind or, again, I guess the question is, how are you defining your market size? Are you including?
So the way we go to define a market size is blind and severely visually impaired. We do have the potential to replace spectacles and provide this as an obstacle, because we did think of spectacles with cameras, but right now we're thinking of hardware because of a parallel. We might move on to spectacles, but the reason is no one would want to wear something like this when they know that surgery and spectacle or something like lenses can solve their problem. This is like an extreme solution. It can be used in your case as well, but we rather focus on the people who really, really need it than the people who might or might not need it. And all the things which we weren't able to cover, our business model, our customer relationship is given in the papers next to you. So if you have any other covers, okay, thank you.
What went into you calculating the price?
So can you go to this? Yeah. So sorry. This is how we calculate the initial stage our development phase. We need $5,500 for development. And testing is very expensive, and company and IP setup, as you mentioned, we calculated how much it would be, and they gave us an estimate as well. And then phase 2 would be our production and marketing. That would vary 20 and 40,000 depending on the amount of how we do in pre-orders that we plan to establish in March through our website, and how B2C has been established by that period of time, and how wholesale has been established as well. 15,000 is where we look at marketing, and this is construction, manufacturing, launch of B2C, and product 1. That is after our beta version is where we're trying to identify our price point right now, because we are unable to identify as to how long. That's why we have a pre-launch coming up in March, if you should see it in the quarterly timeline. Yeah, you can see that by mid-May, March, we have our product prototype and launch, and we have our second product, 1 launch. That is where we move past beta, had testing, had some form of results, market inclusive research done, and that's why we do our launch on our website. And then towards quarter 3, towards the later part of 2018, after we've done our research in Netragama and Netralaya, that is when we look to launch the actual product on websites and establish relationships with hospitals. Until our testing and thing liabilities, all that has been taken care of, we don't want to sell the professional products as well.
Thank you.